What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we're going to talk about the biggest gripe for collecting right now: store exclusives. And to be honest with you, I'm already getting kind of tired of it. No, I don't pre-order. I don't like to pre-order. I don't feel like pre-ordering everything because I have other things that I've already pre-ordered, and I don't need to have my entire bank account on some type of pre-order. It's got to be some give and take here. So a lot of people usually want to either get it or wait. And well, you can't do that anymore because now with Covidia and things of that nature, you're stuck mostly to getting stuff online or braving the outside trying to find these toys to see if they release them inside the stores. Now, of the three of these exclusives, Walmart is the worst, especially when it comes to online shipping. Target and Amazon are better, with Target being the best. Now, Hotlink was one of those figures that a lot of people wanted because he would have been a substitute for another exclusive, Amazon Siege Skyward. And in the process of that, his price has gone up on Walmart and has come back down to being $51.30, sold by Walmart at this time. But if you go in the store and get him, you could probably get him for about $20, because I think at most of the Walmarts he's on clearance now. Another one that's going to be really sought after is Alita 1, and rightfully so. She had a tremendous impact in the Siege cartoon, and she's already being scalped left and right. So collectors, good luck. The next one is this Optimus Prime with the shield and the axe. And it's a pretty cool set. If you didn't have Optimus Prime, I just think for the price, he's still too high. I don't care what anybody says. The paint job is lackluster, but if you want a second Prime, here's your chance. And he borrows heavily from this set. This was a Japanese TRU exclusive set called Battle Shield Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime. And you can see the similarities, the muted colors, the gold shield weapon. Actually, it's 3 weapons. But you can, take the other weapon and make it into a gun. And along with the other one, make one big giant sword. And basically, they borrowed from each other 100%. For me, it's a pass, but for others, it's probably a go. Now, this one is the one that I want because it's Bumblebee. And I don't care for the movie Bumblebee. I want the G1 Bumblebee. But the problem is, right now, you can only get him at Walmart. Some are saying he might get released mainline. I don't know, because it's Volkswagen, and even for the Bug Bite repaint, they would not lend the Volkswagen mold to Bug Bite, even though Bug Bite subsequently is just a straight repaint of Bumblebee. They didn't do that. So this is going to be the ones that people are going to be sought after, and they're going to be paying maybe up to $100 for a figure that shouldn't really cost $20, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just not feeling having to go to the store and search for him. Soundwave is another one. People are going to want Soundwave the most. Out of all that everybody's talking about, I've seen people picking up 2 and 3 Soundwaves at a time, reporting back, hey, I got 2 or 3. Because it's Soundwave. He's got the Earth-style body, the Earth-style transformation. He comes with 2 tapes that are slightly remolded to look like Earth cassettes. I don't see the difference, but still. The worst part about Walmart is ordering online. People have been ordering online and getting these figures, and they're not getting the figure. They're getting a bar of soap. They're getting some plates, anything else but the actual toy that they're supposed to get. And Walmart has been running rampant with this. And by far of the 3, they have the worst logistics when it comes to online. Your best bet is to keep checking your Walmarts maybe every few days, and probably not on a weekend day, to see if they restock so you can pick these up. That is your best bet. I'd advise not to order anything online from Walmart. Now we go into Amazon. Now with this first one that I'm showing, this is a Siege Greenlight. She was readily available, $24.99, and then all of a sudden one day she sold out. And then I didn't even realize it, like a few months later she was going for like $60, $70. And now she's going for $200. Now this one is just really a case of the collector. If you didn't want her and then you decided you want to get her now, you just lost out on that. There's nothing you could do about it. That's really your fault, because this thing wasn't like something that was sought after. Skywarp, a little different. He did get a little buzz, but he didn't. No one was going crazy. It was just like I went on Amazon, hit the button, bam, and next thing you know, he was in my house. I didn't pre-order him right away. I didn't run to Amazon and get him. All I did was just go online and looked him up, and boom, I got him. Now the thing that's funny about Skywarp in general, since the classics line, is that for the ones that we have that are more aesthetic to G1, I've been noticing that he's a store exclusive. He was a store exclusive twice with Target, back in the classics line in 06, 07, and again in Earthrise with the 2-pack going with Thundercracker. And later down on the video I'll get with him. But he didn't sell out like that either. He wasn't something that sold out and then just one day he was gone and he never came back. And then the next thing you know, he was going for $150. And I think at this time, as I'm speaking to you right now, he's still around that price, maybe a little more. Now these Earthrise, Ironhide, and Prowl, as you'll see in the video here, they were up for a long time. My pre-order was in at the end of September. And as of now, it's like, we'll get back to you. But I didn't get canceled, so I'm still going to hold on to it. If in the event I don't get these two, I'm probably not going to worry about it. More or less with Prowl, because I don't like Siege Prowl. It's not a very good looking Prowl. I don't care what you say. It's not that great looking. But, you know, it is what it is. But this one is more of what I want. It's the aesthetic that has really pulled people's strings to get these figures. And rightfully so, and that's why people are feeling the way they feel as far as being collectors. You know, like, hey, look, you know, and same thing with Ratchet. You know, it's one thing to say, okay, well, I can do without them, but if you didn't get the Walgreens Ratchet, well, you're out of luck. And I left Walgreens out because Walgreens only does, they don't really do a whole lot of exclusives too much. But if you didn't get the Siege Ratchet and you're trying to go for this right now, also people's pre-orders are being canceled on this as well. So that lets me know right there, that's going to be trouble for them. And the same thing with, you know, Lifeline. If you're interested in Lifeline, that's the only way you're going to be able to get her. And I think for a lot of people, what's going to happen is you're going to have to go the Japanese route. You're going to probably have to go with a Hobby Link Japan or Amazon Japan to get these. But you have to be fast on there too, because there's other people that are looking and they're going to just go on there and say, oh, well, I can pay 10 or 15 bucks more. And then you have to find a seller or reseller that's going to ship to America. Now, if they do, you get the Amazon Global Priority. And if you buy enough of them, you know, you'll be covered for like 20 bucks to get like 4 or 5 items. And they do come fairly quickly if you do it on the right day. Now we're going into Target. And this is one of the ones, this is my most hated exclusive. Target Red Wing. And the reason why is very simple. They said in order for you to get him, you would have to either apply for the Target credit card or apply for the Target debit card. Now, talk about exclusivity. In order to get it, you have to get a card. The price was decent, but you still had to apply for a card to buy a figure that should have been readily available, which down the line is now available at Entertainment Earth for, I believe, the price of $29.99 or something of that nature at this time. So it's not a scalp up price. So that makes this exclusivity zero now. So for all those people who were applying for credit cards, you had to actually have your credit run to get a credit card or store card, credit card, just to get this figure. And I think that's unfair. And people are like, well, listen, this was the worst one of those exclusives. I could have seen if it was an exclusive where you just buy it, but to have to actually get a card to get him, to turn around and then later you could have just bought him regular price. People overseas were having to pay $70, $80 for him just because you got to ship it over with the shipping cost. I mean, Target, you dropped the ball on that one, but still your logistics is best of the three, hands down. Target has the best logistics. I used to work for them. I can tell you they do a lot. The same thing, of course, there was Thundercracker and Skywarp. And again, these are two central figures. And I think for a lot of people, what they're saying is that Hasbro is kind of, they don't have enough money, or maybe they're feeling a loss. So by having the retailers pay extra for a store exclusive, you know, they have a chance to sell them to them and put that exclusivity clause in there, which I guess they have to pay for that. And then, of course, of paying for that, you know, of course, the store gets to get the stock, and in a way, they get to get the stock out. And on their bottom line price, they're making more money. And with Skywarp, I just don't know why Skywarp has been that character that's pretty much on the exclusive end, except for maybe a few times in maybe what the Power to Primes, or maybe back in Generations when they had the you know, repaint of or remold of Generations Jetfire. But again, as you go back there, you saw that there was a Skywarp there, because yeah, with Skywarp, he was an exclusive back in 2006. And then we get to this guy, Runabout. Runabout is available right now if you go online or if you go to the store. Reason being, he's an 87 character. And here's the thing about 87 characters. For anyone who was about maybe 11 or 12 in 84, by the time you got to 87, you were coming out of toys. You were either going to high school or you were about to go to high school. And if you were a boy, you were into toys, you were into girls. So of course you're going to put the toys behind. So this only pulls the heartstrings of maybe half of the Transformers collectors, because a lot of them aren't buying it. And of course that goes to the last of the most sought after Target, exclusives, and from Target, of course, Thrust. Everybody wants Thrust to complete the 6 main Seekers. Thrust is going to sell out the most because he's from 85. So everybody wants the cone heads to be complete along with their main 3 Seekers. And I think he, as of right now, is still unavailable. The easiest way to get him is to get email notifications. Eventually, hopefully, like they did with Thundercracker and Skywarp, they'll get in enough stock, and then after a while, it'll be readily available. And once the hype dies down, and you know the scalpers realize they're not going to get their overpaid price for it. And that's the thing you have to remember as a collector. You may have to go without these figures unless you want to overpay. And that's the only way a scalper can win. I don't argue with scalpers. That's the name of the game. They're buying the toys, you know, and they're reselling them. But you have to be smart enough to say, hey, look, I'm not going to pay double or triple for something that, you know, I might have missed out on or something like that. So if you tell them no, eventually they'll have to return their stock or try to sell it off at close to the regular price. But with that being said, I know a lot of collectors have had their issues trying to get these most sought after toys, and I know it's a pain in the butt. You know, like I said, there's different ways. Mainly you're probably going to have to import what is domestic. You'll probably be paying maybe anywhere between $10 to $20, but at least you're supporting a retailer that's going to give you the toy authentically, no funny stuff or anything like that. So what are your thoughts in the descriptions below? Are you sick of these store exclusives for characters that are most sought after? Are you ready to jump down a collector's throat and tell him he's wrong because he didn't hit the pre-order button like you did and blah, blah, blah? Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be glad to respond, or anyone else. And my name is Super Robot Ed. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more video reviews on the way. Thank you to all my subscribers. We'll see you soon.